trifling and Etruscan, addicts of drugs not yet synthesized, black marketeers of World War III, excisers of telepathic sensitivity, osteopaths of spirit, investigators of infractions denounced by bland paranoid chess players.
What is going on, my freaks, geeks, and freethinkers? This is Mike Romanelli with the Freethinker Society, episode number 62. I am here with my main man, Clint Esposito. We are guestless, the way we like it sometimes. We're just gonna, we're just having a conversation.
I thought you meant we're on the guest list.
We're on a guest list to nowhere. Yeah, what's up, Clint? You've been rocking and rolling.
Asian girl peace sign.
What's that mean?
That's, all Asian girls do that. That's for real.
Huh.
Like, I went to China.
Yeah.
And they all want
isn't
to
that
take
how everyone does a peace sign?
About their face.
Oh, yeah.
Every single time you go to take a picture, you'd see that and you're like, ha ha ha. Then I went to China and everybody wanted to take pictures with us because we were in the middle of nowhere and they're like, white people.
Yeah, okay.
So then they would all take the pictures like that. And I was like, oh my God, it's real. They actually do that all the time.
Really? Yeah. It's weird.
Go look it up. Asian girl peace sign or something. There'll just be pages upon pages of it.
It's like, are you setting me up for something?
No, that's real.
It's going to be like some
no.
shit porn or something?
I don't know that.
I don't know if it's changed.
No. I'm sure if you Google Asian girls and peace signs, it'll just be a bunch of pictures of Asian girls.
Oh, it still came right up. I mean, then again, this thing is pretty much it's hilarious. It's just everywhere.
They do that, but
a lot of them are doing the Illuminati, man.
Oh, are they?
This. They must be. Most of them in the pictures are.
Now they're looking through them? Is that?
No, they must be all compromised. Every one of these Google images is compromised.
Oh, they're lizards.
Lizard people. Lizard people. There's so many lizard people amongst us.
Hey, this new computer, I just touch it and it knows my fingerprint. It's already sent it into the CIA.
It's got how many days old is it?
Old enough to send my fingerprint to the CIA.
I was gonna say, how many of your faces from watching all that porn? How many images?
I haven't been watching porn and beating off recently.
Good for you.
I've just been banging my girlfriend.
Okay. All right, edit that out.
Why? That's wholesome.
Back there.
That's wholesome. That's a wholesome message.
Well, you're right. Actually, in the world of fucking porn, I mean, I had to stop watching that. I don't do porn because I don't watch porn because it just got so gross. Like as a man, you always kind of feel dirty afterwards, right? But that's
why we do it.
It got so bad where when did? Sorry, guys. I can already tell when it's just Clint and I. Sometimes it gets a little off the rails, but we kind of like it this way. So if you're going to get offended by, maybe you don't want to listen to this one. If you like the one we
skip to number 63.
But okay, so when did it become who thinks it's cool when the girl has snot bubbles coming out of her mouth and mascara running down her face?
You don't like that?
No, or you were about to say incest.
Incest. Everything's so. Last night, a girl said that, and this is a long. I'll try and shorten it.
It's alright.
She saw some story on TikTok that this girl, broke up with her boyfriend because he found out. She went through his phone and found out that he had in fact fucked his sister.
Real sister.
Yeah. The sister one night, they got drunk, and the sister one night was like, "You're so lucky, I wish I could marry him," or something like that, to the girlfriend.
Wait, it's weird. I feel like I heard this on that old Howard Stern episode. Okay.
Maybe.
Wait, so somebody told you this story?
Well, they just saw it on TikTok. So,
okay.
Again, let's take this.
It's definitely real.
It's definitely happened.
If you saw TikTok,
this is happening all the time on TikTok.
So that means it has to be real.
Gotcha,
okay.
Yeah, so I was like, wait, real sister? And they're like, yeah, it happened all the time. And I'm like,
bull, gross.
Yeah. That is gross.
So, I don't... Maybe I'm...
unless you're old Roman. Not Roman, royal.
Yeah, listen, there's real degenerate psychos out there. Luckily, I don't know if it's luckily or not, but for me, my degenerate was all drugs. the sex stuff, the crazy. I don't have any of that weird stuff, but maybe I'm what they call like vanilla. But
no, you
but
put a finger in your butt?
No, no, thank you.
No.
But like it's like
unless it's the doctor, right?
I'm not a big fan of the doctor doing that either. But it's like
for your health.
For my health, okay. If you put it like that, sure. But it's like when did it become? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm getting old, guys. I'm sorry. I feel like this podcast is turning into me being like an old man. Like when
get
I was
off
a kid,
my lawn.
I feel that way a lot. But like I don't get it. I don't get the violence. I don't get the when I was a kid, it was like you remember like Janine and those people, and it was like a really hot chick with whatever. I don't ever look at the dudes, but it was a hot chick and whatever, and it was very girls weren't shaped like weird shapes too, and it's like I don't know what's going on. There's just, and I'm not body shaming or whatever, but it's just gotten very crazy and weird. And
yeah, and I've even watched some, in my time of porn, I've seen some girls go from. There was this one, I guess she was, I don't know, Mexican or something like that.
What does it matter about ethnicity?
Whatever. She's super hot Latino.
Okay,
chick.
okay, there you
super
go.
Fucking hot.
Latin.
And some type of off-white, and and then she just kept going boobs, and then eventually
like
ass, and I'm like, what the fuck did you do?
Oh,
what did you do to yourself?
There's so many beautiful girls I've seen online that have changed throughout the years. It's like, I noticed that too. Not to judge people, but just like, what are you doing? Like young kids getting like lip fillers and things.
Yeah, exactly.
What is that? And then they look. But
the thing is, can you ever get off of that? Right? Like once you start filling your lips, I mean, do they get stretched out? Can you then not get fillers and they'll go back to just being what they were before? I would imagine it probably doesn't. I feel like it's probably a road that you can't just jump off of.
Probably not. I have no idea, but probably not. But like same thing with like back to my porn. My point with porn is like once I got rid of that shit. Like it was actually once again it was after ayahuasca ceremony that I just stopped. Looking at porn. It just was one of the hardest ones. It was actually the Baphomet one. And then that was just something that happened. I just stopped watching. Like that's
what happened. Baphomet filmed the porn on your back, and then that's why you were like.
I mean, it was kind of. It was something like that. But yeah, after going through that ceremony, I never could look at it again. I would even if I tried, I was like, ugh. And I have to say, like for myself, I definitely feel better that I don't consume that shit. But I'm not perfect at all. I feel like my scrolling has gone up way too much of just bullshit, and that's another. Just all these hooks, man. Like back to our last episode. Like just it's in New Jersey in the winter. It's hard to do anything with growing. That's why I would love to have an indoor, like somehow greenhouse type thing someday. But just being out in nature and like getting away from these fucking devices and screens.
I actually do pretty good in winter because I snowboard a lot. You
do good. You do very good with not addicted to the phone. I noticed that with you.
Yeah,
you're very good.
I actually get lost and don't reply to people a lot because I'm just like.
Well, even hanging out with you, I mean, you never reply. That's true. I mean, I could wait for fucking 2 weeks to get not 2 weeks, but maybe 2 days. But you don't. Yeah, but you also, when you're with you, you're not looking at your phone.
No,
often
because I fucking hate trying to communicate with people that way. I'm terrible on paper. I'm terrible with writing. Like, I would rather just talk to somebody. I don't like talking on the phone really either.
Yeah.
Like I would kind of rather have a conversation than I do text a lot versus having conversations. But yeah, I don't really like being on the phone that much.
It's weird, man, because I was always somebody that was a phone person, and I'm turning into the weirdo that likes to text too much.
Yeah.
When it's like, this should be a phone conversation.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm catching myself.
I do that too.
Sometimes I'm catching myself like, this is way too important.
I think it's
booking a comedian or something, and it's like, I mean, sometimes they like it because now it's in writing with details.
No, I do that as well. I will text details of an event, so that way it's in writing for both of us.
Yeah.
So that I can actually just useful. Go back and be like, oh, what did we say? Because I've had conversations text, right? And then it's like, there's no price in this. And I'm like, fuck, we had a conversation about that one thing, and now I don't remember.
Happens to me all the time when because I deal with so many comedians.
Yeah.
Where I have to look back. Okay, what did we say we were paying?
Yes.
I'm getting more organized, but early on, especially, where I can look back. Okay, oh shit, we didn't write a price in here.
Yeah.
Now it's like that's the worst.
Yeah, I make notes so that it's on both my phone and my computer, and then I'll put in who it is, price.
What about before bed? Do you do any? Because that's the new thing I want to fuck with. I want to stop looking at because right now, guys, I don't want to ever feel like I'm like this almighty enlightened being. Because I'm far from it. I've been the more psychedelics I do, the more work I do on myself, the more I realize I don't know shit. So I don't want to ever come across like I know
isn't
stuff.
that what they say about knowledge and wisdom?
Yeah, it's like the more I learn, the more I'm like, wow, I know nothing.
Yeah.
And that's what keeps happening to me. But so right now, my habit is so bad for sleep. Like before, my wife is like, "What are you doing?" Because she could hear it. So just to rat on myself. So what I do now is I start watching InfoWars before I go to bed, and then I just listen to the headphones, so it's blaring. So I don't know if you're supposed to have the phone next to you when you sleep. So half the time I sleep, and it's just Alex Jones screaming in my ears. Like,
It doesn't seem good.
no, it's definitely not healthy. So I'm trying to get rid of the phone. I was doing the Bible, listening to the Bible. First I started with Johnny Cash reading the Bible, and that got like, it was just too cool listening to his voice, and I wasn't listening to any message. And then I started listening to it again, but that also was kind of like listening to Alex Jones. I'm not trying to shit on the Bible, but that shit.
You're
took a lot
trying to
of
go to
violent.
sleep.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you listening to anything for?
Well,
Why don't you get a noise maker so it sounds like you're at the ocean or some bullshit?
how do you say like New
And
Year's Eve
fucking-
noisemaker?
Sure,
Like
if
a
you want
party.
that too, everybody's just like,
Yeah.
you know what you should. If you want that, you should just find the channel with the Girls Gone Wild ads.
Well, that's how we fell asleep. I don't know about you, but when I was a kid in the 90s, that's how you fell asleep,
So
right?
the one guy, we were at a hotel. I think we were at a hotel.
Man, that's dating us. Girls Gone Wild ads.
And this guy had the video. It couldn't have been at a hotel because he was playing it. Maybe. We were on the road a lot, so maybe he hooked his PS4 up or whatever, you know what I mean?
VCR.
And no, we'd have like a PlayStation or something, and they'd hook it up.
How do you do that in a hotel? When I was a kid, I never figured that out.
You'd have to have like special.
Yeah, you couldn't just
hookups
do it, right?
sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes you could. It depends.
I think
A
now you
lot
can,
of
but the
them you
old
couldn't.
hotels, I don't think you could.
I don't know.
But people did
it. Sometimes you could do it. But anyway, maybe it was in the box fan or something. And they had fucking, or his house. I don't remember. Anyway, they had Girls Gone Wild video on. And then it fucking ended, right? It's like a DVD.
Such a 90s.
It ended. And then I'm like, what do you, have you ever watched one back in the day?
I feel like what you're saying,
They're
I've been at a
creepy
party
as
or something.
fuck,
I never
dude.
like put one in. The commercial was always on as a kid.
Okay, so
I remember like sort of 2
well,
o'clock in the
it wasn't
morning.
even the commercial.
It
It
was
was,
always the
the
infomercial.
fucking menu. So the DVD,
Oh, the DVD
ended
menu.
and the menu come back
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
And I was just like, what is going on in there? They had a rave? Like, what the fuck is going on in that room?
Oh, because it's all like Mardi Gras screaming and stuff in the background.
Everyone is just.
Dude, when I was like this is when I was probably same era, so I'd always fall asleep with the Tool DVD on.
Yeah.
And the menu would be on.
Yeah.
And if chicks would be over my house, they'd be like, what, how do you, and because it was like that, it was like
Yeah,
electric.
I remember that.
Right? And I would just sleep like that all the time, so it's kind of funny. I kind of actually did sleep like
Yeah.
that a lot. Maybe I'm a lizard person.
Well, no, I think needing noisemakers is fine. I need to get Bethany into that because she always turns the TV on.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fucking terrible because then you got the beams coming, the light from the TV.
I'm telling you, I think there's something
and
in the commercials
sound.
too. I think there's some kind of like frequencies that are like hooking you, just advertisements.
I need a My Pillow. Man, I slept great, but I needed My Pillow so bad.
You wake up with just stacks of My Pillows everywhere, or no, Relaxium.
Dude, so there's a commercial now, right, for Victarva or Victarva or something. It doesn't even say what it's for at all through the whole commercial. It doesn't say anything. All it says is it's like just some guy on the beach alone building a fire, and he's like, any stereotype you try to put on me, it's not gonna stick.
What?
You know, and I'm like,
what is this? I gotta see this right now.
Victarva. Look it up.
Okay.
Maybe the original. You know how when they first put a commercial up, it's longer,
Yeah.
right? And then they cut them down. Maybe in the original commercial they said something.
I think it's a drug.
Yeah, it is a drug.
Oh, going on a drug website.
Yeah, we're going to find out what it's. Is there a commercial? Do they have?
Well,
a
dude,
commercial?
that's another thing. Like, what is up with every commercial of drug now? What the fuck is this,
dude?
Like, it's literally, if you don't, that's like first of all, if you believe in any type of law of attraction or just any type of programming your brain, it's like you're literally programming yourself for fucking to have a disease.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right? Like,
Well,
like
even all the old.
It's for HIV.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I didn't know. It never said that.
That's odd, dude. That's really odd that they just like have that. I mean, it's odd they have any ad.
Yeah.
For drugs. Any fucking ad for drugs.
Well, here's my thing. So then you walk into your doctor, right, and you're like, "Hey, can I try some Zeltrex or whatever the fuck?" You know what I mean? Or maybe I need that. I think I need that. I saw the commercial for it.
Yeah. I need a little Bictarva. Clint, you're not fucking HIV positive. The guy was so happy.
But no, I wouldn't be.
I mean, if it makes you that happy on the beach.
With HIV, imagine how happy I'd be without HIV on the beach with it.
Yeah.
All these drugs just make people happy.
Happy, and then, I mean, it's the cliche, everyone said the joke, and then you shit yourself and all that stuff in the end,
Yeah, but you're happy.
Yeah. And you're partying, and
You're happy shitting yourself.
fat people could eat more, and things,
Dude,
like,
that's the hilarious one.
Well,
how about just... I've always said everything... Well, I guess they don't really diagnose anything. I was going to say everything doesn't need a diagnosis, but like irritable bowel syndrome.
Yeah, what about it?
What does that mean? That's bullshit.
Well,
That's a bullshit. You're eating irritable bowel syndrome.
So what I think with that is it's a horrible thing if someone has it. But what I think, I know what you're saying. It's like, but I think it's just literally, this is all results from our diet, from American standard diet. This is happening. We've talked ad nauseum about.
But this is my point. Irritable bowel syndrome. No, you keep eating something every fucking day
you're right.
that bothers
Instead
you.
of fixing it and saying, I'm going to go on whatever kind of plan to eat.
Bictarva.
You want to take your Bictarva and just keep eating.
Exactly.
I agree. I mean, it's crazy.
Exactly.
And this is really just an American thing. I don't know if you know about this.
Stupid fucking...
This is really just an American thing.
No, there's got to be other countries that are modern enough that they're assholes as well.
I don't know about every country, but I know that there's only like 2 countries in the world. I think it's us and New Zealand that are only allowed, that we're the only ones that are allowed to put drug ads on TV. And
yeah,
a lot of
I've
other
heard
countries,
there's some kind of nuance to theirs there.
Yeah, but it's
not like
it's a big world, man. And there's only 2 countries that do it.
Yeah.
Like, that says something. The other thing is like we are such a pill society, like a cure instead of fixing the problem, right? And that's fucking weird, man.
Well, because they've somehow confused everybody that it's not their diet.
Yeah, just keep fucking doing it. Just keep clogging those Chick-fil-A lines.
Yeah, but they
Just
don't
keep...
even... Yeah, and I mean, the way they're pushing you is making it inherently worse.
Oh, yeah.
Which seems weird, right? If they're not tied with the fucking... You know, like, there's some shady stuff. Cancer is what... There's something like 40% of fucking people will end up getting cancer.
That's a great topic because, yeah, think of how many people would get it.
And how much money... I was talking about this earlier. How much money would you guess, ballpark, donated to cancer research?
Oh, it's like a crazy... Just the NFL alone. Just what the NFL does alone.
Crazy
and it's like,
amount.
like almost none of it goes to actual cancer research. And here's the other thing, man. So apparently we figured out how to fix this problem we have right now with a cure, which is like clearly not a cure. What's going on right now in the world? But we can't figure out anything with cancer, which I guess they have made some strides. But come on, man. Like you said, 40% or whatever number you're saying that people have. It should be. Come on, man. There's got to be a way to fix this. And
2018.
That's one of the age-old conspiracies that people talk about is that they had cures and that they, people get whacked when they talk about the cure, or
Yeah.
it seems like big business cancer for sure. And a lot of these, I mean, the other one is diabetes, insulin. I mean,
The FY 2018 funds available to the NCI totaled $5.94 billion, including $300 million in Cures Act funding, reflecting an increase of 5%, or $284 million from the previous fiscal year.
wow.
5.9 billion, and none of these assholes have gone, it's the food.
Well, the food industry, man, is so
You
fucked
can
up.
fucking
Yeah.
okay, so there are commercials on TV where it's like, did you get cancer? Or did you use Roundup a lot?
Yeah.
Do you live next to a farm? This is actually what the commercial says.
China?
Do you live next to a farm that was sprayed with Roundup? Think about that. Do you live next to a farm that was sprayed with Roundup? You could have gotten cancer from that spray. Yet it's being sprayed onto the food. Nobody can connect those fucking dots.
Bro, have you ever see what those farmers look like when they're spraying their crops? They're in
Oh, I know. They
they're in
look like
biohazard suits.
what you should look like for COVID.
Yeah, I mean, in LA, Sam says in LA that's what they look like.
Oh, yeah.
He says he sees people like
They
that.
look like they're beekeepers.
Oh yeah, he said all the time. It's like it's so normal out there.
They look like Breaking Bad.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. But do you remember when I used to dress like that in the beginning? Not with the full thing, but I used to have the mask, the gloves, so I go shopping.
Yeah.
Oh man,
We all did for a little bit.
Yeah,
and then they were like, you can use your handkerchief. And I was like, wait, what?
Or you could use this mask that says it does not protect you from.
I could use my hanky? What do you...
Yeah, people start.
Okay.
Yeah, I was using that gator that was like literally like.
I wanted to do I should have done a video where I was like, they're like, oh, you can use your bandana. And then I'd be like, had green screen and have a house on fire, and I'll be like, don't worry, I have a bandana. You know, like radiation. Don't worry, I have a bandana.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, it does seem like this whole thing is falling apart.
It does.
Does scare me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, because it just seems like it's falling too easy. Like if you watch the mainstream media, you'll see that there are a lot of things that we've been talking about for 2 years. They're starting to say. It looks like in New York. Did you see what happened in New York? That kids in Long Island don't have to wear masks anymore. The mask mandate.
No.
Yeah, the mask mandate. So, at first I thought it was like too good to be true conspiracy news, but no, it's on all of the. Not that it makes any difference that if it's on the mainstream, but they're talking about it. That they said it's not constitutional in New York. However, I think it's up to each school or whatever.
Right.
And Long Island is the first one to say, all right, we're done with the masks.
Awesome.
And it's just crazy to read teachers.
As much as I don't like Long Island, I like Long Island.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally Jersey, which is they just have stronger accents than us.
Yeah, exactly. It should be called New Jersey, New York.
Yeah, it's New York's New Jersey. It's like literally, like they're all even a lot of Staten Island people.
Maybe that's what I was thinking. Staten Island.
We're very close to Staten Island, like the way at least our area of New Jersey.
Yeah.
But Long Island also. Long Island's like whatever. We could get into the whole thing of this, but I think it's really great. But I'm reading like Reddit and other message boards where these teachers are like, well, we'll never get the mask back on them now that we're taking it off. Why do you want to put a fucking mask back on them?
Because listen,
it's like,
who's more teachable than teachers? Their whole life revolves around regurgitating some fucking textbook that was written 50 years ago.
Just like following a rule.
Exactly.
Whatever you got to do.
Exactly.
I mean, like, it's crazy how like they can't go off. I can't even say the word. I'm not even try to say it. They can't go off the plan. They're not allowed to like.
Yeah.
Back in the day, you have fun teachers that would teach it their way. Like you got to stick to the plan.
Yeah.
It's literally sticking to the. That's crazy.
Exactly.
That's nuts.
But they're just. You find
curriculum.
So you just find people. You find people that are easily brainwashed to then turn around and brainwash people.
Yeah, man.
Sorry, teachers.
Back, what was that guest we had on that was, we're going to have him back.
And not all, there are obviously some teachers that are like, but...
Bruce de Torres, remember?
Yes, yep.
Yeah.
But there's a ridiculous amount of teachers that are, you know, and we had talked about this. I started noticing that a little bit when I was young. And when that would happen, where they were like, be like super liberal or just, because that's usually who was saying it. I have had some conservative teachers that would say some shit, but not as many as like young liberal type teachers that want to like, you know, tell the kids, you know, I think that's what you have now. But I remember when it happened a couple times when I was young and they said something about politics or something, I was like, that's weird.
It's funny, I don't remember high school at all, and I remember at that time period I was such an anarchist that I hated, like, especially conservatives, because they were so anti-free speech at that time with the Bushes and everything like that. Yeah. And so it wasn't, for me, I was like, I'm trying to think about politics in high school. I don't remember
But
teachers.
you don't remember them bringing it up at all?
No, I remember them always talking about OJ. I remember OJ was the hot thing in
When
school.
did that happen?
When I was in high school. I remember them wheeling the TV in for us to watch the verdict.
Come on.
Yeah, they wheeled the TV in for us to watch the verdict. I mean, that was the biggest thing going, was the OJ when I was in high school.
But they showed you in high school?
I swear to God, they rolled out the cart and they showed us I was in science class, and half the class was cheering, the other half was freaking out. Yeah.
Why would they show that to everyone?
They said that we're going to get the verdict
really
on
weird.
OJ. I know. I feel like when I went to high school and where I went to high school, I feel like it was still.
They were trying to start a race riot. Is what they were doing.
No, but I just feel like teachers definitely just kind of did kind of whatever back then.
Yeah.
But you know, later on, it definitely got stick to the script. No,
I can tell you what they weren't.
I think everything changed after 9/11, dude. I really
do. The female teachers were not fucking students,
and they were not hot at all. We didn't have any hot ones.
It was a bummer.
We had no hot ones, and they definitely were not. Some dudes might have been banging the chicks.
They were. That's
some rumors of the younger.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that's definitely a. You know, I don't know if it was true or not. Hey, rumors are rumors. Who the fuck knows? I mean,
believe all women.
I mean, I'm sure every high school had the tuna fish rumor, and we get all those stupid rumors that.
And some chick broke a hot dog off inside her, and then she had
it's funny. She went to everyone's high school back in the 90s and 80s.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would hear about that. Actually, a kid that was older than me that worked in my uncle's pizzeria, and he used to like be a delivery guy, and I'd catch rides with him. He'd buy cigarettes and beer and stuff. Now he could be lying, I don't know, but he told me he banged one of the teachers. But it was
a guy teacher?
No, I mean, he could. I think he said it was a woman. He even said like it was in like the lecture room. He said, but I didn't even know who the teacher was by the time he was that much older than us.
Yeah.
That he was just one of those dudes that still hung around. Which if you look back, that's like real weird.
It's weird.
It's real weird. He was hanging out in high school, like
he probably banged her after he graduated.
He probably delivered pizzas to the high school.
They had some parent-teacher conference, and then they had drinks after, and they called for pizza, and he showed up. He's like, "Didn't I have you 4 years ago?"
Totally, that could totally have been. You're right, and that's the way he spins it to us. So he's a cool guy. I mean, I'm sorry, but I can't imagine buying cigarettes and booze for high school kids.
No.
I mean, granted, I'm much older.
That's fucking creepy. Who cares? If you're of age,
like, I didn't even do that when I was
21, is it not, for cigarettes?
I think so.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I think so. Because I was in a head shop the other day, and the owner came out and was this girl looked like she was 14, and he was freaking out. It was just over tobacco. He's like, "I don't think you're setting me up. Get out of here. Don't come back here anymore." He's like, "How many times did I tell you?" And she was trying to buy like a vape, I think, or something. Because the kids even smoke real cigarettes anymore. I think they all just do the vape.
Pussies.
Well, who knows, man? Who knows what these vape juices are?
Sure.
I don't know about this. Same thing with like, are you into the oils? Everything, all of it.
What type of oil?
Like the weed, the whatever.
Not really.
I think there's something up with that, man.
What from where? What do you mean?
I honestly I know the from where. I've gotten it from the best places in the world, and I've gotten it from places that's definitely been like, yeah. And I used to be a while ago when it first came out. I was all into it because it was like it didn't smell right. It was like a little like convenience. You take it places, and I just feel like the convenience part's cool. But it's different. Something's not right with it, and I've had the growers tell me, "Oh, well, this is this one's natural," and I'm sure we can talk to Anthony.
So you're talking about wax, or are you talking about?
I'm talking like the pens.
Vape pens, yes. Yeah.
Now I believe, I think with the.
I always say they're like
different.
jerking off. You know, like it kind of does the job, but it's just not the same.
Dude, that's a great bit. That's a great, and that's so true. That is, it's literally, those are like jerking off.
So it kind of scratches the itch, but
that is,
ultimately you're still like,
you still want the real thing.
I need to get high.
Yeah.
So I don't know when it stopped.
Yeah, because I forgot to hit. I just guessed on. I guessed when.
All right, so let's go back to where we were. What were we talking about? Oh,
you were saying with the nervous and the.
Yeah, I was saying that if I work out really hard, and it's different, your clothes after that will still smell. But if I work out really hard and just sweat so much where water's pouring off me, it doesn't usually smell as bad as if I get nervous at a comedy show or something, then I smell. You were saying, I don't know when it shut off the camera, but you were saying that trying to detox off of aluminum deodorant, say eventually that you'll flush it all out.
It takes up about a month. And then you could use like those crystals and things like that, and then they would work. But because something with the aluminum clogging up your pores and all the different toxins and things that it's built up in that area, it's got to all just come out of you. Listen, I don't know. And a part of me says, the person that wrote this, but I did read other people, reacting to it. Part of me says, after a month, this guy doesn't realize he smells anymore.
Right.
Who knows if that's the case? Because that happens too. Like, I've hung around a lot of stinky hippies, and they have no idea they smell.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah, to talk about stinking, dude, after a ceremony.
What, when you take ayahuasca?
Bro, well, I mean, I would do a lot of these too outside in very hot climates, and they would be sometimes up to 2 days long, where you're around the fire and stuff. But when you get in that car or whatever vehicle and you're in a small car, other people, I don't care if you jump in a river, I don't care if sometimes we hose ourselves down. I normally find a hotel and just scrub myself because everybody, there's an odor that happens after a ceremony that is just like so strong.
Maybe it's from your body trying to detox.
It probably, yeah, probably is something like that. It's like I could literally, talking to you right now, I could get the smell in my head. Isn't it weird how smells can trigger memories?
I went into a gas station once, and the whatever cleaning stuff they use smelled like a hospital. Mm-hmm. And like an operating room, and I wanted to throw up. I had to fucking like hurry up and get out of there. It smelled like kind of like gas when they put you out.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not really a big fan, so I was like, I had to pay for my shit real quick, and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna fucking throw up. So do you want to talk about that one that I had, so Neil Young said that Spotify had better make a choice.
They give him ultimatums.
Neil Young, they can either have Neil Young or Joe Rogan. They can't have both.
So, but Neil Young gave them the ultimatum?
Yes.
Is that what happened? Okay.
Yes, because he was saying, whatever misinformation.
I thought he was against streaming, but okay. I thought he was a big guy against streaming.
No,
but apparently
it was. He said that.
I just remember he's such a sound guy that I remember he hated all. But whatever, maybe that's years ago.
Okay. I don't know. All I can tell you is right now he said Spotify can either have Neil Young or Joe Rogan, and so as soon as I heard that, I tweeted, so what's the last day Neil Young will be on Spotify? And it happened.
So really?
Yeah. So they clipped Neil Young.
That's kind of a win. That's kind of a win for just censorship.
Yeah.
Forget about whatever. It's just a win for censorship, I guess.
Yeah. No, it is.
I mean, the fact that
I'm glad that Spotify did not buckle. Although, let's be honest, I think they looked it up and Neil Young had something like 6 million downloads a month or something, and Joe Rogan gets like whatever 12 million
his numbers are
an episode
crazy,
or something like that. So monetarily they were like,
yeah,
whatever.
Business.
Later, Neil.
But apparently, even like some of their employees and stuff, and they're like not having it. I mean, listen, just talking dollars, it's a big investment they've made into him.
Yes.
It's gonna be interesting to see if he I think he has like a 2-year contract, which is a crazy amount of money for 2 years.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to see will they keep him.
Listen, I never listened to Spotify.
I have to be honest. Since Joe Rogan's been on Spotify, I don't listen. I listen to the Jessica Kirsten person because she's our friend, and I was just so excited for her to be on. That
I've been listening to Rogan on Spotify, and I've been listening to music on Spotify, simply because he's over there.
100%. That's true. And
Otherwise,
I haven't opened that app in I don't even know how long. And I just recently.
I had never opened Spotify.
Yeah, I had it for something, but you're right.
You got to figure that's the new age. Howard Stern moving to Sirius XM.
I mean, it's pretty much identical deal. Like
it's just
very similar
years
deal.
later, so the numbers are.
Yeah, but it's like if you look at it's like a very similar that crazy number that he got. Yeah.
Somebody that had such a following, and then you're bringing them to a platform and making it exclusive, to bring that following because they have such a big following.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. As an employer, that's the one. I have a couple rules. Like I'm very fair with keeping people, sometimes to a fault, where I'll keep people too long. But there's a couple rules that if you break, and one of them is like ultimatum. If you tell me I gotta fire this person or else I'm going, I'll tell you to leave.
Yeah.
Because you don't ever do that to me.
Right.
There's a way to come and talk about it. There's a way to come and say, hey, this guy sucks. But if you tell me what you said Neil Young did about Rogan, I don't like that shit. That's not cool. Yeah. And I think Spotify did the same kind of rule I had. Like, don't tell us. Are you kidding me? Yeah. That's it is definitely the new thing, man. Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that.
Let's think about this now, like from Neil Young's perspective. How fucking delusional are you to think that they give a fuck enough to clip? He's like, I've been around since whatever. Like, what was the thought process here?
On a much smaller level, without outing anyone, do we not see this in comedy all the time? Do we not see the old timers who we respect, but get upset about a guy who's got a lot of following and could sell tickets, or a girl, and they don't get it because they've been around? Like it's just an art ego. It's an ego thing. Like the guy was a giant at one point for sure. Neil Young was a giant. So in his mind,
exactly.
But that's crazy, dude. That's just I mean, come on. There's nothing bigger than.
But that's my point. Is awareness. You're not that Neil Young anymore.
No, but that's kind of part of
ego,
ego and musicians and artists, and they don't understand when the time is up.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad in a way, but from what I've known, I think he's kind of always been a dick, Neil Young.
Well, some of that was surfacing.
There's a lot of shit that he's done with with things. He's kind of always been a dick. Great music, unbelievable music, but it's also just funny, man. Like keep on rocking in a free world. That's like one of his biggest hits.
I feel like the more anybody wrote about freedom, the more they're fucking just being a pussy about it. Like Rage Against the Machine.
You just took the words out of my mouth.
Dude, how?
I feel duped by that. Because they're a big reason of why I am who I am. With conspiracies. You used to go to a Rage show. I've been to many Rage shows, and they were some of the best concerts I've ever been to in my life. And you would go, and there would be activists outside with zines. They were called zines. They make these magazines, and you'd read about all these fucking corruption and crazy stuff going on. And I learned a lot. It's pre-internet,
That's not a good idea.
So you'd have all this crazy fucking. I learned about all this crazy shit that I never heard about. Until I would go to this parking lot of these concerts, and even.
And now you're like, dude, psyops.
I feel a part of me can't stop listening to the music.
How do you go from Rage Against...
I do love it.
I know. And it's like, so then I look at it, I try and be like, did they really believe this at the time? Maybe they really did believe this, and that's how they felt.
I'll tell you my thing. This is just I don't know this. I was in the music industry for years. And I have to say, I was not one of the chosen ones because I didn't ever see anything too weird. And I was in deep in the music for years around some big people. And I never saw anything too weird. I also wasn't as awake back then. But anyway.
You were also on a lot of drugs.
I was on lots of drugs.
So it's easy to miss some signs.
It could be, but here's what I'm getting at. What I think in some of these bands, or they become organizations, I think it's not the whole band that's corrupted.
It's like
I think it's either a tour manager, a booker, maybe one of the people in the bands that has a lot that we don't know. Because there's a lot of dynamics behind the scenes in bands that you don't know. Everyone thinks it's Zach pulling, the guy singing, because that's just where your head goes. He's the front man. But you don't realize it's really Tom. He's the one that's all the politics. And that's why they kind of broke up a while ago, because they couldn't deal with shit. So, you think right away it's always the front man, but sometimes it could be a drummer. It could be, like I said, it could be a manager. It could be a booker
and
of a
lot
show.
of times,
or it could be a lot of things.
Well, you're right, and I mean, like, listen, I do comedy, right? But how many people look at the business side the way I do? Not very many.
No.
You know, and that's a lot of that with musicians or artists or whatever. Riders were the same way. You know, they just wanted to be the rider. They didn't want to have to think about all that shit. So I'm sure that there's a faculty of people in the band that are just like, ooh, whatever, I just play the guitar or whatever.
Absolutely. I mean, Rage Against the Machine's a little bit crazier because it was such a political, it was such a band against the, you know, it was so nuts.
Freedom.
Yeah, but the fact,
right. You know?
Dude, I mean, I can't.
And now they're like, get vaccinated so you can get your freedom back. Yeah, right.
It blows my mind, man. I don't want to call out some of the bands I love, because there's some bands I really love and I still
It's rough because there's a lot
they're
of
saying
shit.
things and I'm like,
yeah, there's a lot of things that we grew up on that are even Stern. Well, he was talking out about
crazy.
Rogan too.
Dude, he's saying some crazy shit. He's saying people should like die. Like I feel like now he's almost grifting to that side hard. Where he's saying things that are like almost. I feel like he's almost. It's almost a bit.
Yeah,
he might
feel like
believe
he's a
it.
caricature of himself.
Yeah, but I feel like he's went so far on this side that he's like, because he's saying you should die, kill, like put him. He's literally saying put him in camps, things like that. Where it's like, it's almost like, because remember, he is a lot of. So it's like maybe he believes this stuff. He probably does, but I feel like he's almost pushing a little. He's almost Alex Jonesing it the other way, where he's like really, you know. Because he's saying shit, but guess what? We've been talking about. No one's talking about Howard Stern for a while.
Exactly.
And he's the king of doing that. And everywhere you look, people are talking about Howard Stern again. So he's not. He's a pretty smart dude. I don't think it's gonna. I think it's gonna blow in his face. Because I think the majority of people
trying to, like you said, shock jock everybody the other way. But I think he thinks it. I think he believes a lot of this stuff.
I mean, I think so too. Because I hear him like he's like cutting off people on the show if they're not vaccinated, like weird shit.
Yeah.
But I think he also thinks that people. I think people are hate tuning in more than ever to him, and that was a big part of his career in the beginning.
Do you think he's terrified of the virus himself? He seems like a person that would be.
Supposedly, he never shook hands.
Exactly.
He was always a never before all of this.
Before, exactly.
So he talked about that. He was a big germaphobe way before that.
Exactly.
You can't go near him and stuff. So
I didn't know that, but that's exactly where I'm going. So you have people like that are so fucking terrified themselves, right? That they're just like, everybody around me needs to get vaccinated and blah blah blah, and you're out here risking our lives. Yeah, but that's the thoughts of a terrified person.
But all I want to say to those people is, sure, I get it, but if you get the vaccine, you could spread it. So it has nothing to do with that anymore. Just if you want the vaccine, take it because you think it's going to help you from dying from it, and that's all that they're literally saying. So what does it matter about anybody else?
Because they have pushed getting the shot so far that they're like, if you like, how do we make you a piece of shit for not getting it? Oh, you're responsible for killing other people.
That was the early narrative, but I feel like people, it's like, it doesn't...
You know how long it takes to disseminate that was bullshit?
Oh, I was talking to Sam the other day about this, how, let's say everything that we've been saying comes out true, which it seems like it is anyway, but let's say it does.
There's still going to be a number of people that don't believe any of it.
For years. We could say that everything was wrong, it was just a flu. We could say, and they can literally say on the media, and there's still going to be people that are going to wear masks.
How about how quick they turned on the CDC, right? CDC, they're our man. And then all of a sudden they're like, we're reducing the quarantine time to 5 days. And they're like, huh, what a fucking joke the CDC is.
Yeah.
Oh, all of a sudden now you agree that they're a joke?
Dude,
that's been your Bible for the past however long?
I'm grateful that when I find, like, I'm not married to an idea, and some people say fence riding or whatever, fuck all that. I don't care if you think I'm one of those people or whatever, don't listen, because I go with what I find. That's part of being a free thinker, is that when you see you're not married to a narrative. If all of a sudden something I really thought was true and I find out for sure it's the opposite, I'm gonna say, okay, I was wrong. I have no problem saying that.
I mean, do we ever know for sure? But if you have signs that are pointing you in the other direction, you're not going to go like, no, because I believe this. Which I agree with that.
Sorry about that.
you know, I think people just find ways to discredit anything. If you learn and change, then they're just like, I thought that would shut it off. Then they're like, oh, you're fucking whatever, flip-flopping or whatever you said, you know what I mean?
Riding, all that shit. So, you know, another thing, Clint, is like, do you notice that, do you watch the mainstream media at all?
Not, like...
I need to stop, but
really.
I do. So, just to see, I like to see it because I feel like I could figure out what's going on. So, everything that's all over right now is Russia and Ukraine. And they're talking, basically, the media is drumming up, basically, a war. Who the fuck wants to go to war with Russia right now? I don't think any American wants to.
I thought Trump was the war guy. I thought he was causing all the wars.
I mean, I think we had the most peace when on his watch, and you know, so whatever. But
this is my point. The narrative that they put out, like,
I know, dude,
is fucking ridiculous.
But how are people that dumb to not see through it?
I agree.
People are they're literally, you come on CNN and stuff, they're drumming up the war drums. But my point, real quick, what I was going to say about that is how the COVID thing's dying. Right away, my black pill went to, oh shit, World War III. But then once, that's the beauty of the internet. You go on the internet and you see people in Ukraine saying nothing is changing here. We're exactly the same. I was reading accounts. Now listen, you don't know if it's true, but I'm reading accounts of people from that region that were here in the U.S. saying on TV all they're talking about, or their family members are calling them like, "Are you okay?" Because that's all we see on the news, and they're like, "Nothing has changed here. We're exactly the same." Nothing, you know. So it's odd. Is it to take our attention away? Is it another psyop just for us to look a different way while they fix all this stuff? I don't know if you saw today that there's this thing that they're saying that conspiracy theorists and right-wing right wingers are going to take down the power grid. That's a little...
How?
I don't know, but they said that's what the credible threat, whatever. To me, it's like, okay, just like with the Muslims, with the 9/11, like, you know what I mean? It's like...
They're trying to vilify the right so bad that a conservative candidate does not have a chance at...
I think it's more than the right. I think that's why they threw conspiracy theorists in there. Because I think there's people like you and I mean, I'm not speaking for you.
That are in the middle.
Oh yeah, I'm not speaking for you, but I tell people constantly, I don't give a fuck if it's right or left.
I agree.
I need to make sure this person's not a career person. Because they're just, whoever's making a career out of this, they're liars.
Right.
They don't care about, they're just going to say, it's come on, man, how many times you guys be tricked? It's the same thing. And once again, I don't really even care about federal stuff anymore. I'm looking more local.
Yeah.
Like, I want to know who's the mayor, who's the governor. I want to know all that shit and figure that out. And I don't know if you've looked into that. It's really hard. I've been trying to figure out, keep talking about these midterm elections and everything, and I really want to think about local. It's really hard to get information on all of that stuff. It's crazy, dude. It's so hard to just get information on local candidates and what they're about. You would think that would be, with all the information, I could find information on the internet of all kinds of crazy shit. They make it pretty rough. Like, it's weird. Now, maybe if somebody knows
you probably need to find them having a meeting or a campaign, like rally. Can you say?
You would think like you'd Google and like it would be like a page that would say, okay, this is what this person stands for. Blah, blah, blah,
know,
but it's not that cut and dry.
Those people have to do that themselves.
Well, I don't know, dude. I think it's just.
And you know how much it takes a government person. How much money it costs a government person to make a website? It's at least like $100,000.
Yeah, I want to get into that business. I have no idea to make a website, but I'll Squarespace that motherfucker for that. Yeah, that's funny, right? How anything with the government is so much more money. A pair of socks is like $20,
and it's always their nephew or.
God help me. Oh man. Well, we keep having these conversations, Clint, and I think it helps. At least that's what people tell us. Guys, if you like this stuff, please like it, review it for us. Clint and I are talking about, if you guys are interested, I know that we do this every once in a while where the two of us talk, but we're going to start our Patreon up because we're going to start our Patreon up, and with our Patreon, we're going to do 1 hour a week of Clint and I doing this where we go back and forth without a guest. You're going to be able to get the episodes up quicker, right? We're going to do some live content.
We're going to do early release of all the regular episodes with the guests. And then we also want to do the bonus or the thing that will be only on Patreon will be a live show with Mike and I so that you guys could actually write in and chat with us.
Yeah. So these are my favorite episodes. Anytime we do them in studio, it's my favorite because I still have it's hard for me to, but I'm getting better with having a conversation on Zoom.
And now with the new
Should definitely be easier.
computer, I'll be able to use it to its full potential again, and we can play sounds and Google stuff. And,
Dongles for days.
What?
Dongles for days.
Dongles for days. So at least it dongles for gays. I think that's a worthwhile charity. We
Hey.
no, we have
Dongles
to,
for all.
you have to donate
Inclusive
dongles to the gay community.
I love dongles. I love that word. Well, guys, I love you guys. I love the swarm. Hope to see you guys out there soon. Hopefully we get Sam Tripoli back in the dojo in the spring. And love you guys. Thank you.
#dongles for gays.